All 50 states have new laws that go into effect on January 1st each year. News Channel 6's Kim Vickers talked to a Georgia state senator about some new Peach State laws that may affect you, Kim.
More than 275 new laws went into effect in Georgia by January 1st, including a law changing the age to buy tobacco and vape products. I sat down with Senator Harold Jones to talk about some of them.
The decision basically was made similar to alcohol to kind of put the age limit up because tobacco, of course, does have negative effects to health, probably worse than many drugs out there, actually, when you look at death rates as far as tobacco is concerned.
The new law states people must now be 21 years old to purchase tobacco or vaping products. Another new law called the Vance Act protects the victims of human trafficking by allowing convictions of crimes they committed while being trafficked to be vacated or restricted. They must be able to prove they were being trafficked and that they committed the crime because of that situation.
Basically what that means is you're not going to be punished on job applications. You're not going to be punished on things of that nature because the crime you committed was due because you're being human trafficked.
Some new laws are protecting Georgians' bank accounts. Now doctors and hospitals must be transparent about their pricing. This prevents surprise bills because you may have had to be treated by a doctor who is not in your insurance network. Also now on the books in Georgia, a hate crimes bill that was signed by Governor Brian Kemp in June. This came shortly after the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. The bill will impose extra penalties on suspects whose crimes are believed to be committed because of a bias towards race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation, to name a few.
So the significance of that is if you're charged as a hate crime for misdemeanors, it means that a person can get up to 6 months or an additional 12 months confinement or probation and up to a $5,000 fine. And then felonies can go up to an additional 2 years confinement and also a $5,000 fine.
Georgia Republicans also pushed through a police hate crimes bill which criminalizes an act motivated by bias against police that results in the serious injury or death of a police officer, firefighter, or EMT. Jones says there are many problems with the law and that there are plans to look at it in the next session.
If you look at the bill, it says that a person can get up to 5 years if the reason that they attack the police officer because he's a police officer and a death occurs. When you first read it, it seems like they're talking about an additional 5 years, but you're not. What you're talking about is the way I've read it, the way other groups have read it, is that actually you're talking about you can get 5 years for killing a police officer. Not an additional, but just 5 years.
Another new, more lighthearted law now in place in Georgia. The Peach State now has a state grape, the muscadine. Lawmakers have to have fun too. Back to you.